The Western Mustang football team of 1939 played in unique times under trying conditions. With the declaration of war by the British Empire upon the Nazis on September 3, 1939, the Mustang football squad began its season in a world that was shaken by war and social change. Sherwood Fox, the president of Western, addressed the graduates of 1939 with a message that called for courage against what was feared most: the weakening of effort under the influence of heart-sickening setback and the agonizing deferment of victory. With the impending call to military service, each Mustang from the 39 squad would eventually heed those young men put together a last magical season before official intercollegiate play was suspended in 1940. Coming off the 38 season, where the Mustangs lost the Yates Cup championship game, the 1939 version was bolstered by newcomers such as high schooler Jay Cameron, Colt addition Joe Kroll, and Ontario Rugby Federation Union players Bert Harris and Harry Smolinski. Led by head coach Bill Storen and his young assistant John Metras, the Mustangs opened their season with an exhibition against the Royal Military College. Playing in an era where a touchdown was worth only 5 points, the Mustangs crushed RMC 35-2. Displaying a mixture of speed and power never before seen at the collegiate level, the Mustangs' second exhibition game was paced by 2 touchdown performances from Clem Faust, helping the Mustangs down the Dundas Red Bombers 22-0, signaling something special was in store for the upcoming regular intercollegiate year. The opener against Queens witnessed the Mustangs trailing 21-7 at the half, only to see an amazing second-half comeback led by the 2 touchdowns of Joe King and the spectacular 65-yard interception return of Roy Kent, who would soon find himself in the cockpit of a Spitfire, battling over the skies of Europe. Playing in front of 15,000 hostile fans in Toronto, the Mustangs, under the general leadership of quarterback Alf Hurley, broke the Varsity Bowl jinx, gaining its first victory over Toronto in 8 years. A 2-touchdown performance by Harry Smolinski, the game was capped by the scintillating 72-yard punt return lateral combination of Joe Kroll and Bert Harris. Acclaimed as the greatest forward pass team that the Senior Intercollegiate Football Union has ever produced during an era in football where the ground game dominated play. The Mustangs scored 2 touchdowns by forward pass against the McGill Redmen in a game which witnessed the Mustangs completing 13 of 21 on the way to a 25-7 victory. In a return match against the defending intercollegiate champions McGill, the now commonly referred to flicker-dicker plays of Western's renowned backfield carried the day. Led by the strong line play of middles Morley Thomas and Jay Cameron, insides George Oliphant and Benny Benson, ends Claude Moore and Roy Kent, and snap Gordon Taylor, the talented running and throwing backfielders Hurley, Kroll, King, Smolinski, Faust, Wally Hilton, Lynn Thompson, and Jack Kennedy were able to complete their magic all over the field. A 65-yard pass from Kroll to Moore rounded out the scoring in an 8-1 victory over McGill. Playing at J.W. Little Stadium, the Mustangs defeated the Varsity Blues 15-1. The Jack Kennedy 81-yard pass and run play from halfback Harry Smolinski being the highlight of the game. In the final game, with an undefeated season and the Yates Cup on the line, the Mustangs faced the Queens Golden Gales. Down by 7 points with 10 minutes to go, the Mustangs scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. One a Smolinski to Thompson touchdown pass, the other with 2 minutes remaining on the clock when game hero Claude Moore blocked a deep punt in Queens territory, enabling George Oliphant to scoop up the ball on the 5-yard line and romp over for the game-winning touchdown. Oliphant scoring the last and most important touchdown of the 1939 season, securing Western's first undefeated championship year, would also stand out as the lone Mustang from the 1939 team to be killed in action during World War II when his bomber was shot down over France early in the war. At the conclusion of the season, 6 Mustangs, Kroll, Moore, Hurley, Kent, Smolinski, and Faust, were chosen to the 12 intercollegiate All-Star positions. Joe Kroll was also named an Eastern Canadian All-Star. Alf Hurley was the recipient of the first ever George McCullough Trophy as team MVP, playing all 60 minutes in each regular season game. An undefeated 8-0 record and a Yates Cup championship. The 1939 team showed the courage and determination that school president Sherwood Fox had asked for under the clouds of war that hung over Canada and the Western students during that incredible season. The 1939 Mustangs, truly Western legends.